Hi, guys. Happy Wednesday. It is hump day here at Al's All Access. Normally, there would be no football, but today there are two teams that are unbelievably ranked high in the, I don't know what, Al. They're not in the top 10, they're not in the top 25. This is what we call in the betting world an island game unto itself. You get huge handles on games that would completely be overlooked on a Saturday when you have a full card of action and but you get betting interest because people want to bet and they love watching football and they don't care what jerseys they're wearing. They just love watching football. We can agree on that, right?
We definitely agree on that. People are attracted to games that are on television.
Exactly. So from a handicapping point of view and database point of view, would this game be even looked at on a Saturday, or the algorithm is not biased? It's just an algorithm. It's a database. It does its work. It doesn't care if it's top 25 or zero.
100%. When I handicap a game, in fact, when I look at a game that's on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, I always analyze it as if it would be on a Saturday. If it's not good enough to be a play on a Saturday, I don't put it out just because it's being played on an off day. And that goes for the NFL as well. I'm not going to put out a Monday night football game just because it's the Monday night football game.
You
If it's
know
not
I'm
good enough to be a play.
You know why I'm laughing? Because you know that being a guy that deals with clients on the phone for 35 years, every Thursday night, every Sunday night, every Monday night. Eric, what do you got? Eric, come on, man. I know you got something on that Sunday night game. I need to bail out. I said, man, I
I
got
I
nothing.
get it.
Come on,
My
man.
my
Just
my
pick something. Pick something.
Yeah, my clients. In fact, I had a client call me about 2 days ago, and he said to me that one of the things that endeared me to him. This was back in maybe about 2000 or maybe before that, maybe in the 1990s. Is when he first joined. He said one of the things that endeared me to him was the fact that I passed on the first Sunday of the NFL, and he said that's when he knew I was his handicapper.
Nice. Well, let me ask you regarding passing on the first Sunday. How about the fact that if you're a Telegram subscriber, you've already received these games one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, 9 games on October 2nd, Monday morning. I put these out on the Telegram channel at 9:04 a.m. when you sent them to me, which lets me to believe you don't sleep because that's 6:04 a.m. on the West Coast. And when the clients get these games on the All Access channel, they need to bet them. I mean, obviously at 9 o'clock, people are getting their kids. If they're on the East Coast, I get it. But within the day of Monday, you want to get these games in and you want to beat the number, right?
Yeah, we'll beat the number about two out of every three times. It's not 100%,
Right.
but we'll beat it the overwhelming majority of the time. And yeah, I mean, folks have their lives; they don't have to get down, in a millisecond. But it's fairly convenient. Games are released early in the week, which is I think a lot better than later in the week because you get better opportunities early. And yeah, folks, they can get the games, and most people can get down
So
within an
let
hour
me
or
ask
two.
you. Let me ask you regarding the All Access. You were born on the East Coast. I'm
I
in
was
the
born. I was born in Houston, Texas, but I grew up on the East Coast.
Okay, you grew up on the East Coast. So, from a sports betting point of view, as someone that's been going back and forth to the West Coast of Vegas, obviously, for 20, 30 years, there's something to be said about eating dinner and all the games are over at 9 o'clock at night when you have a dinner meeting, which is midnight here. Um, what's your take on that? Because it is interesting that, like, I can't, I literally, it's the opposite. Games start at 7 o'clock when you're sitting down with your family. And do you think that, like, what do you prefer? I know you live on the
Well,
West Coast, but it's a two different worlds. And you
yeah, I
got to
mean,
get up
if
early on the weekend, and I don't have to get up early on the weekends.
right. So if you're a handicapper and you're working, as I do, the best place to live would be Hawaii.
Right.
If you're watching the games and you're not working like I do, then I think the best place is in California because you don't have to wait till 1 a.m.
Right.
For me, I work all night, so I don't mind.
Right.
But yeah. So if I'm working, I would be living in Maui. It would be my best case scenario, so I could go to sleep at a reasonable time. Instead, as you just highlighted, I'm working usually until 5 a.m. In the
Right.
morning, Los Angeles time every morning.
Right. And so from a betting point of view, it's interesting because I'm in Vegas. I wake up 6 a.m. I go work out. I go to the blah 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 blah, and then before you know it, 9 o'clock. on Saturday, the games start, and here it's like I get to the office at 7:30 a.m., which is 4:30 your time on a Saturday morning, and nothing starts till 12. Sunday's even worse. I get to the office at 7:30, 8 o'clock, in the first NFL game. We're talking 6 hours away, at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. The day's half over before the first game even begins, unless there's a London game at 9:30, which again
And
is the
speaking
game
of
everybody bets.
and speaking of London, I've got a lot of clients in Europe, and it's even worse for them because they're going to sleep when their games are just starting. So
Exactly. So I just wanted to get into that because I always wondered the mentality and the psyche of people based upon where they live. I have clients in Australia, I have clients in Europe, and I see the difference between the Australian guys. They wake up, they watch NBA for breakfast once NBA starts every single day, and they
yeah.
love it. But back to this amazing matchup this Wednesday, this amazing matchup. Let's talk about that free complimentary selection.
Yeah, it's a Conference USA matchup. Jacksonville State against Middle Tennessee. The Gamecocks have gotten off to a 4-1 straight up and ATS record, Eric, but Middle Tennessee is a mirror opposite. They're 1-4 straight up and 1-4 ATS. The key factor so far this season has been turnovers. The Gamecocks have forced 11 turnovers while only losing the ball 4 times for a +7 turnover differential. In contrast, the Blue Raiders, they've coughed up the ball 8 times. They've only forced 3 for a negative, excuse me, they forced 5 for a -3 turnover differential. So Middle Tennessee, they're at home. They've been installed as a 3.5 point favorite. It opened 4.5. It's now down to 3.5. I like the underdog here. Conference USA favorite, like Middle 10, off back-to-back losses. If they've got a 333 or worse win percentage, they've covered just 51 of 154 games, including, get this, just 10 out of the last 54. So I'm going to take Jacksonville State plus the 3.5.
And again, we like having that hook because even if they lose by 3, you get that half. I mean, we don't mind taking the half a point. I know you'll lay the half a point as well, but I love being in that situation where at least I have the opportunity that they could lose the game by 3 and I still get the win.
Yeah, but I mean, in college football, it's pretty rare that a game's going to
Right.
fall half a point away. So the average
So
game in college football is 12.21 points away from the point spread.
We are at Wednesday. You've already released your NFL. Later today, we're going to have the college releases. If you're someone that's looking to get all access to Al's plays, send me a text message at 775-636-7676. Be prepared. Have a big enough bankroll that you can actually get all these plays in. He's already released 9 NFL games. I don't know what's coming with the college until he sends it to me later in this day. What I will say is this. Don't wait to play these games once you join and sign up. Get them in at the best number. This is not for everybody, but this is for guys that want to follow what Big Al's been doing with his amazing database documented to ESPN for literally 45 years. So again, 775-636-7676. We'll be back with a complimentary selection later in the week. Good day and good luck.